thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for being here, for the advice and the guidance and the comments that you left on that last video about Paul passing away and my van still being in his garage. I got to meet the family a few days ago at his funeral, and it's only fitting and fair to share an update with you on what's transpired since then. Also, I got to share with you this phone call I got from the Attorney General's office just a few days ago regarding a car that I had stolen from me maybe 3 years ago. And I've learned a lot of life lessons this week, and I really do want to get this information out to you guys so you understand what's going on and you don't make some of the same mistakes I made. So let's get started. So during Paul's funeral, I got an opportunity to get up during the eulogy, say some nice words, and share my memories about Paul. But I also got the opportunity to meet Paul's family, but specifically Judy, his sister. Now, Judy's been named the executor of the estate, which is important in this whole thing. And when I introduced myself to Judy, she was apparently just as excited to meet me as I was excited to meet her. Now, Paul had apparently shared with Judy that he was working on my van and it was a project between us. And so Judy's not claiming ownership, she's not disputing ownership. And in fact, just the opposite. She was extremely gracious, very kind. And she also offered that anytime I want to get down there to get the van out, she'll meet me down there. She also offered to leave the van down there, or if I wanted to reassemble it or finish the job down there, it's available to me. Now, there's still some question marks here, and I'm not going to sigh a breath of relief until the van is actually out of the garage, but I still have to collect all the parts, the bumpers and the door handles and so forth. And I also have to figure out where to send the van for the get finished. So look, there's a life lesson here that I learned, and it has to do with a will, or in Paul's case, not having a will, and the efforts that the family members have to go through to settle the estate. But that's not the only lesson that I learned this week. You see, I had gotten a call from the prosecutor at the district attorney's office here in Delaware regarding a car that I had sold, or what I consider stolen, almost 3 years ago. Now, at that time, I had the '74 Cadillac for about a year, and I decided to sell it. And I made this video as a way to market and sell the car. And after a few weeks on YouTube and Craigslist, I got a call from this dirtbag schmuckball named Samuel Eric Richardson. He said he's from West Virginia. We talked, agreed to terms on the sale of the car, and I later gave him wiring instructions to do a wire transfer of $3,000 to my account. He said he was going to wire the money in a few days and then make the 8-hour drive to Delaware to pick up the car. It all seemed normal and appropriate and natural. And after a few days, I got a call from this guy saying that the wire was done and to check my bank account. I checked my account, I saw the $3,000 and told him he can come up and pick the car. Later that day, he arrives at my house. I double-check my bank account, I confirm that $3,000 is still there, and I give him the keys and the title. A few days later, I'm shocked when I get a call from Citizens Bank on an NSF for $3,000. After that call, I'm confused and it doesn't make sense. I go to my local Citizens Bank branch, and that's where I find out that this guy didn't wire transfer $3,000, but instead he went to the local Citizens Bank branch, wrote a check to deposit into my account, knowing that that check would later bounce. So right after learning this, I ran over to my DMV to file for a duplicate title on that car, only to find out that the car has already been retitled in the state of Virginia. So over the next few days and weeks, I did enough background checks on this guy to learn that he's been arrested in something like 8 other states for check fraud and other crimes. So the Attorney General was reaching out to me to let me know that this guy is still out on the lam, but a felony arrest warrant is outstanding for him. So, look, I got screwed by this guy, but I also got screwed by Citizens Bank, as they don't clearly define how deposits are made into my account. When I go online, it shows the $3,000, but it doesn't show how that deposit was made, whether it was cash or a check or a wire transfer or even an account transfer. So look, I screwed up selling that Cadillac. I'll tell you straight up, that was my fault. But it also takes a dirtball like Samuel Eric Richardson too. Now, I'm sharing the story about the Cadillac and about the will as a way to learn from this. These are life lessons, right? And other people don't necessarily need to go through this if you can learn from this and then you take something away from this video. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps guide you also and helps keep you from making the same mistakes that I made. So as always, thanks so much for being here and watching.